What's up, everyone? This is CyberKnight 8610, and today I want to talk about the brand new cards that were revealed last night. Basically, we now know the next set after Phantom Nightmare, which is the next set for us that we're in English. That set just was released for Japan, which, by the way, we'll have an unboxing maybe this weekend, early next week, something like that. And, yeah, this is going to be then the next set after that. And I was kind of thinking, since it's called Legacy of Destruction, that maybe it would be like a redone version of Light of Destruction. Just like Phantom Nightmare is kind of like Phantom Darkness, in a way. You know, it's almost like a redone version. But no, they actually gave new support for YUGI. And I don't mean the Pharaoh, I don't mean a Tim, Yami. No, YUGI actually got brand new support in this, which I feel like we don't see as much, you know? So yeah, they basically retrained all of Yugi's monsters and they work together. So we have a new Gandora, which is also the cover card, a new Silent Swordsman, a Silent Magician, new gadgets that they don't work though with the other gadgets, which is kind of unfortunate. You know, these mainly work together. Marshmallow, which is really cool too. I like Marshmallow. And they all revolve around this new continuous spell called Gold Sarcophagus of Light, which is like your main continuous for it, and it's what binds them together. Like, they have some of the old effects that the original monsters had, but this is what makes them an archetype. So it's kind of cool that they're doing this. I like seeing, like, basically older duelists, you know, especially Yugi, actually have an archetype. You know, like back in the day, they just mixed their cards together and stuff, and then later in the series we started seeing, you know, different characters have a full archetype, like heroes or code talkers or whatever, you know? So anyway, it actually making sense is awesome, and we're going to go through all these cards in today's video. We're going to read them all off. Of course, they're also on the organization's website, so I have a link in the description if you want to follow along with me and all that too, and like and subscribe and all that. I greatly appreciate it, okay? Also, I hope I sound alright. My allergies kicked my butt this morning, so I kind of feel like crap. Anyway, let's get going. So first, let's talk about this new Gandora. I believe it's Gios Gandora, Dragon of Destruction. I think that's how you say it, or maybe it's Gas. I don't know how you technically pronounce that. Anyway, let's see. Level 8 Dark Dragon effect monster, 0 attack, 0 defense. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If you control Gold Sarcophagus of Light, you can special summon this card from your hand. It gains 300 attack for each banished card. You can pay half your life points to destroy as many other cards on the field as possible, and if you do, banish them. Then special summon one level 7 or lower monster from your deck that mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light, and if you do, increase its level by the number of cards destroyed by this effect. So, first off, it is basically I believe the same effect as the original Gandora. I mean, this is like, what, technically the 4th Gandora, and we're still missing one that Japan's had for a while, which I want to make a video about that. We might do that sometime. But anyway, yeah, it basically has that sort of thing where it could get rid of everything and then gain attack from it. But what's really cool and what ties it to the others is, of course, too, that you can bring out basically the other monsters that we're going to talk about in this video. So they all mention Gold Sarcophagus of Light. You can special summon them. They gain levels even by how many are destroyed, and which is really good because Silent Swordsman and Magician get stronger depending on their level. The more levels they get, the higher their attack goes. And it's a good way to build one of them up, basically. So, really cool, and again, I really like his artwork, too. I mean, he's just sick looking. I like Gandora. I always thought it was a cool card. Then, of course, after that, we have Silent Swordsman 0. Let's see, level 4 Light Warrior, 1000 attack, 1000 defense. You can only use the third effect, this card's name, once per turn. Once per turn during standby phase, you can increase this card's level by 1. While this card's current level is higher than its original level, it gains attack equal to the difference times 500. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets Gold Sarcophagus of Light and or a monster that mentions it, you control. Quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, increase this card's level by 1. So yes, again, this is one of the ones I'm talking about where Silent Swordsman, you get that level, you know, above 4, above its original, and it just gets stronger. So it will be, you know, 15 at level 5, 2000 at level 6, you know, so on and so forth. And you can really crank up that level depending on how you use Gandora and everything as well. And I like, too, how basically I think both the Silent Monsters like this, too. They help protect the Gold Sarcophagus of Light because that is the card that binds them together, and it's your main card that you need. So, yeah, it's just a really cool retrain for Silent Swordsman. I'm pretty happy about that one. Hope to see more, too, because I like the older versions of Silent Swordsman and Magician, too. Let's see, Silent Magician 0. Pretty much the same effect, of course, being level 4, Spellcaster, 1000 attack and defense, and all that kind of stuff. So, all of that, you know, is basically the same, but it does have part of its old effect where if your opponent draws cards, increase this card's level by the number drawn. So that's really good. Pot of Greed could give you 2 levels right there. Who would have thought? And then, of course, its last effect that is actually different is when your opponent activates a spell card or effect you control, Gold Sarcophagus of Light, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and then you increase this card's level. So, yeah, you have Swordsman going for monsters, and then, of course, Magician going for the spell cards. So, really good on both of those, and they get stronger, you know, depending on their levels. So, pretty cool. And then, let's see, we also have our new Tricolor Gadget. This is pretty cool. Again, I kind of wish it worked with gadgets, you know, it really doesn't, of course. Level 4 Earth Machine, 1,300 attack, 1,100 defense. You can only use the first and second effect this card's name each once per turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Gold Sarcophagus of Light or 1 spell or trap card that mentions it from your deck to your hand. If this card is destroyed by battle card effect, you can set 1 Stronghold, the hidden fortress, directly from your deck. So basically it's a searcher and you get Stronghold, which is kind of been an older strategy, I guess. You know, it still is similar to the other gadgets in that aspect. Artwork's nice, too. I know MCool's going to be happy with that one. Let's see. Then we have Mash Marshmallow, which, I mean, it's just marshmallow with glasses. You can't go wrong with that. A level 3 Light Fairy, 300 attack, 500 defense. You can only use the first and third effect this card's name each once per turn. During your opponent's turn, if you control Gold Sarcophagus of Light, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hands. While you control Gold Sarcophagus of Light, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, your opponent's monsters cannot attack other monsters for attacks. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can special summon 1 other Mash Marshmallow that is banished or in your hand, deck, or graveyard, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. So basically, he can bring out another one, he can help protect your monsters, and he still has this old effects where he's going to be a pain to get rid of, and does that 1,000 damage. So I kind of like that. I was hoping, though, maybe he would bring out the original one or something, you know? And I like, too, how you still get an effect if it's destroyed by an effect, because that was the weakness, I guess, really, of Marshmallow. You couldn't destroy it by battle, but an effect would get rid of it. So, pretty cool. I mean, mainly just happy to see it like a retrain. I never thought that would happen, you know? Who had that on their bingo card, you know? Then we have Gold Sarcophagus of Light, the card that everything talks about, new continuous spell. You can only use the second and third effect this card's name each once per turn. First off, it cannot be destroyed by monster effects. During your main phase, you can add 1 card from your deck to your hand that mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light, except Gold Sarcophagus of Light. If your opponent special summons monsters from the graveyard, you can discard 1 spell, then target 1 of those monsters and send it to the graveyard. So yeah, this is your main card. This is the one you want to have on the field to help with your monsters, like bind them all together, like I said. It has a searching effect, which is nice, but it can't search for itself, which might be better off anyway. Once you're going to have one, I feel like you don't really need another. You know, like you probably would still run 3 because you want to get it as quickly as possible, obviously. But it kind of seems like one of those where, you know, it's like a field spell almost. You only really need 1, you know, on the field at a time and you're good. So, seems pretty cool. And then being able to just stop your opponent from special summoning monsters from the graveyard is also pretty cool. I think that's a callback because I think Yugi basically used this card, or the original Gold Sarcophagus, but the effect was different. And that's what stopped Tim from bringing out Slifer, I think. I know it was one of the God cards. I think it was Slifer. So, yeah, kind of a cool callback to that, too. Then, of course, we have a spell card for Silent Swordsman. This one is Silence of Time, turn Silence. Quick play spell. You can activate 1 of this card's name per turn. Target 1 face-up monster you control, increase its level by 3. And if you activated this card in response to your opponent's monster effect activation while you controlled Gold Sarcophagus of Light, and a monster mentions it, negate that effect. If your monster mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light battles, during battle calculation, you can banish this card from your graveyard and end the battle phase. So you can power up the level, which will make your monster stronger, you can negate effects, and you can banish this card to just end the battle phase, which I can see that being very annoying. And also another card that banishes itself, which will make Gandora stronger, and it just rinse and repeat. So that is just insane to me. You know, a really good power-up. You know, I think it is like a play on the older one, what was like Silent Slash or something. I can't remember right now, but yeah, a really good card, and these effects are going to be nice. You're going to have like answers for everything, I feel like. Let's see, we also have Ties of the Companions, or Ties of Friendship. I think that was the original name, too, back in the day. You know, there was a card called that. Anyway, it's a normal spell card. You can activate 1 of this card's name per turn. If you control a Gold Sarcophagus of Light and a monster that mentions it, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn after this card resolves. Also special summon up to 2 level 4 or lower monsters with different names from your hand or deck that mention Gold Sarcophagus of Light. So basically, this kind of reminds me of sort of a Rescue Rabbit kind of card. I mean, you're getting 2 level 4s out there really easily. They don't want you to use the extra deck afterwards because that could just be an easy XC summon, Link summon, whatever. I mean, basically any form of summon, I guess. And, basically, I feel like this is more to bring out the silent cards, you know, or something, or whichever ones you need to get their abilities out there. So, yeah, like I said, all the monsters we talked about mention Gold Sarcophagus of Light, so they're all targets for these kind of cards. So, that gives you a lot of options, honestly, too. I'd like to bring out both silent monsters, power them up, and, go for game, basically. Alright, we only have 2 cards left, I believe. Next one is actually a new Silent Magician card, and it is Silence Towards the Future. It is a quick play spell, and you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Add 1 monster from your deck or hand that mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light. Then, if you activated this card during the battle phase while you controlled a Gold Sarcophagus of Light and a monster that mentions it, each player draws cards until they have 6 cards in their hand. So again, I believe that is a play on the older card. I think it helped you draw as well. Kind of bummed out that this one doesn't also like increase level. I was hoping they both would, basically, so you could really, you know, get some insane levels, I feel like, on the silent monsters. Either way, though, being able to draw is pretty cool. Your opponent does too, unfortunately, but maybe you could use that against them as well. So yeah, I could see that being really good, and yeah, just that's a pretty good draw engine. I'm just thinking more and more about it. I'm like, huh, I can see that being abused easily. And then the last card we have is a new trap card that is Stronghold, the Hidden Fortress. It's a continuous trap, and its effect is special summon this card as an effect monster, Machine Earth, level 4, 0 attack, 2000 defense, with these effects. Also, it is still a trap. Alright, so it gains 1000 attack for each card you control that is Gold Sarcophagus of Light or a monster that mentions it. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares an attack and you control Gold Sarcophagus of Light, you can destroy that monster. Wow. So, basically, we have another fortress for the gadgets. Kind of reminds me of the movie one, because I think the movie one did something similar, too, where you could, like, when you had, like, gadgets equipped to it or whatever, it would gain their attack, and I think Yugi used that one to make it, like, 3,000 or over 3,000 attack, or it was something pretty crazy. Kind of reminds me of that, honestly. It's kind of the same idea, and then when you have the Gold Sarcophagus of Light, you can just destroy a monster that attacks. That's pretty scary, too. So, yeah, I like seeing that, and we don't see too many, I feel like, you know, ever since Paleozoic especially, we don't see too many trap cards that become monsters anymore. So, it's kind of cool to see. But, yeah, that is everything. I know it's kind of a long video, but there was a lot of cards to talk about. So, let me know what you guys think about all these cards. If you're excited, not excited, I think I want to build it. It looks pretty fun to me. I don't know if it's going to be, like, meta, tier 1, whatever. I don't really care. It looks like fun. And that's what matters to me, especially these days. So, yeah, I definitely want to try it out for myself. And, of course, when this is out in Japan, I do plan to open it. I think it will be next year or something. I feel like it's going to be a little ways away. So, yeah, just subscribe so you don't miss out. And, yeah, I will open up, what was it, Phantom Nightmare, which is the new Japanese set that we'll get, I believe, next year. In a few days, actually. We should have it maybe over the weekend or something. I'll see. But, yeah, I plan to record that soon. So, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and all that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want to see more content like this in the future. I mean, I had to talk about these. And, of course, I will. Catch you guys later. See ya.